Yuletide greetings, horror fans. Rob DiLauro, one of the hosts of Dungeon of Deadly Delights and the VP of Digital Media for HorrorWeb here. I got a new segment called Celebration of Slaughter. This is a segment where we'll focus on the birthdays and milestones of film, television icons. And although it's not necessarily a birthday, there is a recent release from Blumhouse Productions, a second remake, a PG-13 remake of Black Christmas, starring Imogen Poots. It's getting a lot of hatred and flack from the horror community. Which is something that I don't necessarily prescribe to, but I do very much understand as a horror fan that the 1974 classic Black Christmas is not only one of the most important slasher films of all time, horror just would not be the same without it. So let's talk about Black Christmas. Was a script written by Roy Moore, a Canadian writer who wrote the original title Stop Me. It was actually based on the urban legend The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs, and there was also a really horrific account in the Westmount area of Canada. There was a series of strangulation murders that started from 1968 all the way to 1971. Now, when the producers actually got their hands on the script, they wanted to build a more linear slasher film, something that's going to just, simply make them money. Director Bob Clark wanted to take a different approach. He actually wanted to inject humor, and he also wanted to portray his college students as smart and emotional and humans, like they actually have feelings. As he put it, he did not want his teenagers in bikinis playing beach blanket bingo, and they got to respect him for that. The other amazing aspect about this film, which is kind of mind-blowing for the time, was that the original final girl of this particular film, Jess, she also showed a great amount of female empowerment in regards to the idea of what she does with her own body, and of course, like what she does with her own life, because she does have an empowering boyfriend that wants, her, to, accept his ring and marry her and have that kind of life, but that's something that she necessarily didn't want to do. So one of the things that I actually heard about the remake of Black Christmas, which I did view for myself, and I do have my own feelings about it, I think the one issue that people had was the female empowerment seemed like it was a packaged situation, something, that was, simply marketable, where this one was just, was a very human situation, and, like, female characters at that time, like especially at that age, did not necessarily have a voice. And when it came to the casting, actually, Olivia Hussey was known for one of the greatest Shakespearean adaptations of all time. She was in Franco Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet. She did not need this story. She did not need this work. And the only reason she actually took it, according to legend, is that she went to a psychic, and the psychic actually told her that she would receive a great amount of money from this production. That was why she took the role. The other supporting cast, like Margot Kidder, it was a whole different story. She had a character that she got to play that was wild and carefree, and she wanted to take the part. There was also some changes, when it came to certain characters. And the lieutenant character was actually passed over to the iconic John Saxon, because there was an illness, in the casting. And John actually read the script and agreed to come to Canada to do the part. So Black Christmas, being the slasher that it was, really did get all their ducks in a row when it came to the casting. So Black Christmas was shot on location in Toronto in the winter of 1973 to 1974. The house had just been discovered by Clark while scouting for locations, and its owner actually agreed to lease the home for the production. Additional photography was completed on the University of Toronto campus. And according to John Saxon, Clark had meticulously drawn out storyboards with key shots, which he brought to the film set each day. So he actually had an idea and a vision of, where this story was going to go. Another interesting thing about this particular film was that Clark never wanted to reveal the monster within. Unlike Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger's, and Michael Myers, basically all the iconic, all the iconic villains that this, particular film inspired for the most part. That was the one thing that was meant to remain secret, that you would never see who the killer was. And there was actually a very open-ended third act, and you don't even know if the final girl actually survives. Like I said, there was a lot of mystery in this particular production, and that's what Clark wanted. He did not want a simple slasher film, for the sake of making buku bucks. He actually wanted to tell a really serious and strong story, and that's what we got. So Black Christmas, as I said, was a Canadian production, and it actually did get American distribution. They actually ended up changing the title when it came to the States. And you know, due to its $600,000 plus budget, it actually made $4 million in regards to the box office that it received. It was a great success for for the most part, and through the years has become a cult classic that many people not only love but they absolutely worship. As I said, one of the most important films in genre history. Um, an interesting factoid here: the film was under the title "Stranger in the House." It was set to make its network premiere on Saturday night, January 28th, 1978, on NBC's weekly Saturday Night the Movies. But 2 weeks prior, there was actually there's a set of murders at the Chi Omega sorority house on the campus of Florida State University in Tallahassee. Where Omega sisters were asleep in their beds, were bludgeoned to death, and the killer then went to a nearby room in the sorority house and violently attacked 2 more sleeping co-eds who survived. And of course, these were the events of famed serial killer Ted Bundy. In regard to the importance of Black Christmas, Black Christmas was a very inspirational film when it came to how the final girl is portrayed, and of course how a film is portrayed. One of the most amazing aspects of Black Christmas is the inspiration that it had in regards to John Carpenter and the 1978 classic Halloween. And this is also a film that inspired Deborah Hill to give her characters the voice that they received in that particular masterpiece. And that was all due to the work of Bob Clark and Black Christmas. Black Christmas is an extremely important film in the horror genre that has a legacy, just like Sorority Sisters, to this very day. This is Rob DiLauro for Celebrations of Slaughter. Please join me again. And of course, like, share, and subscribe on the HorrorWeb YouTube channel, and join us for Dungeon of Deadly Delights bi-weekly on the HorrorWeb YouTube channel. And Merry Christmas. We will scare you later. Talk to you soon.